Today I will be showing you how I make this bomb-ass Benihana bowl at home. First, you're going to start off with a little garlic butter and a cast iron. You want it to be nice and hot because we're going to put some steaks in here. Go ahead and place your steaks in there. I like to start off with a nice even hot temperature so that there's a nice crust on the outside. I just season this side with a little bit of salt and pepper, and you're going to let that sear for a little bit. Once it's been a few minutes, you're going to go ahead and flip and look at that nice crust. That's what I like to see. You might have to flip it once or twice again to your liking. Some like to pop it in the oven. It is a personal preference. Once all that's done, you're going to set it aside, and I like my meat to rest before I start slicing it. Once it's been a few minutes, it's time to slice. One of these are done a little more well than the other one because I have a toddler. So this one is the one that is going to be well done. And this was my steak. I like mine a little more fatty and probably more on the medium side. So this is my steak. Once you've sliced all that, you're going to set that aside and move on to the next thing, depending on the order. This is not necessarily the order I cooked it in either. Next, some garlic butter in a pan, and you're going to saute some zucchini. I also season these with a little bit of salt and pepper and give it a few minutes before you flip. After a few minutes, you're going to give it a nice flip. Give it another minute or so, and then that's when I kind of go in with some soy sauce and a little more garlic butter. Then I'm about to get real Benihana on you, and I feel like it's not the same if it's not cut this way. Like, it doesn't cook the same either if you cut it that way in the beginning. So that's how I do mine. Then you're going to cook some onions. I love onions, so I kind of did a lot of onions. You're going to place all the onions in here with a little bit of oil. And you want these to kind of get a nice little sear, salt and pepper, of course. And then you're going to flip it after it's been a few minutes. Once I flip them over, I go ahead and I cut them. Again, this is just exactly how Benihana does them, and I just like it this way, so I've adopted their method. Once they're all cut, you're gonna throw some garlic butter in there with some soy sauce and give it a nice little stir. I kind of like mine to have a nice crunch, so I don't let it cook too much. Then some garlic butter in a pan and some mushrooms. Honestly, the mushroom is my favorite part, and it just puts everything together. So once again, some salt and some pepper. Saute that up. I go ahead and I add a little bit of garlic butter and some soy sauce as well. Mushrooms don't take very long, so depending on your temperature, you do want to kind of move them around a little bit, not too much so you're smashing them, but enough so like the heat is evenly distributed. And then again, this is kind of like a preference thing as far as the doneness. It's a texture thing, so your preference, you choose when they're done and just set them aside. Moving on for the fried rice, I have my onion, carrot, and green onion mixture with a little bit of oil. You're going to saute that a little bit. You don't want to completely cook it down because we're still going to mix some eggs in here. I did some salt and some pepper on the vegetables, gave it a nice little mix. And then I'm going to go ahead and push those aside while I bring in my eggs. I beat my eggs in a bowl and add it to the side, and I kind of just scramble it on the side so I'm not using too many dishes. Plus, I'm not using my flat grill today because that's a whole process. So this is how we're going to do it. Once those eggs are done, you're going to combine them in with the vegetables, and then you're going to add in your day-old rice. Day-old rice is honestly the best. You could use same-day rice. You just have to let it completely cool down if you don't want your fried rice to be all mushy. I'm going to go ahead and mix this up really well. Make sure all the little chunks of rice from it being refrigerated overnight is out. I'm going to come behind with some garlic butter and some soy sauce. Make sure that's all mixed up. I know it looks like I'm kind of being rough, but I'm really not being rough when I'm folding this rice around, because you don't want them to smash together. You just want the butter to kind of evenly coat everything. And then I hit it with a little more salt and a little more pepper as well. Mix that in, make sure all the seasoning is mixed together. You might let it fry depending on how crispy you like your rice. Now for my shrimp, on high heat with some garlic butter, I added in my shrimp to a cast iron. High heat to me is important because it doesn't give the shrimp the chance to like release all the liquid that it does. I squeezed some lemon on top, and I'm going to go ahead and flip it. Again, this is a high heat, so it's only going to take a few minutes. Added a little more garlic butter, and I'm going to give it another mix. Let it get a nice sear evenly, and then I'm going to set those aside as well. Here I am making the ginger dressing that I just discovered served with the salad and the shrimp. And this is the toasted sesame mustard sauce. And this is my beautiful plate. I did a little, oh! So this is kind of like that mustardy toasted sesame seed kind of sauce. And this is going to be the ginger. So I did half of the mustard sesame sauce, and then I did half of the ginger sauce in one little thing because honestly I like the mixture. This is for the meat, this is for the fish. So I'm going to take a piece of my steak. It's so good. Sometimes I take my vegetables and I go right in the middle. This side is just full of shrimps. Wow. This is my first time making this. It actually tastes like Benihana ginger sauce. You gotta get a bite with the mushroom and the onion. So good. And then like the zucchini with the onion. So good. I'm a Benihana girl through and through. Every birthday from when I was a kid, Benihana's. This sauce is my favorite. Usually everybody's favorite part of Benihana is the garlic butter, which obviously is a staple and is fire, but y'all are asleep on the actual sauce that they give you. Like the ginger sauce is like top tier. And this is actually my first time making it. And this is my new favorite thing, honestly. I make a lot of sauce. I keep saying sauce. This isn't sauce. This is considered their dressing. It just clicked. This is the dressing that they put on the salad when they get... I just started something. I'm about to have a Benihana house. I'm never going to Benihana again. Seriously.